Our next guest joining us on Big Blend Radio Champagne Sunday show is Angela Laws. She's an award-winning community manager for TrustedHouseSitters.com. This is the world's most trusted pet and house sitting community, and it really is awesome. Angela was on our show on our summer festival back in June, and since then we decided we are going to become pet sitters too. We've done it for friends and family over the years, and we've had all kinds of pets in our lives, right, over the years and
Mm.
all around the world. But we thought, well, as we travel full time on our Love Your Parks tour, this is a good way for us to take time out, get our work done, and be around pets, which we really miss having in our lives, and then also gardens and just actually
Yeah.
being in a home setting. We needed a balance of normalcy, and Angela said, "Well, you must join," and we did. And now we can report on some of the house stays that we've had, and oh my gosh, the amazing friends we've met. We've friends, animals, and human friends. I mean, this has just been an
Mm.
amazing experience. For the homeowner and for the sitter, I would just, if you're traveling this year and wondering, especially with the holiday season coming up, well, what am I going to do with my furry friend here? It's better than taking them to a kennel. I'm telling you, they get to be in their own like happy zone, and we've really
Mm.
experienced that. So check out TrustedHouseSitters.com. But welcome, Angela. How are you?
Hi, Lisa, and hi,
Mm.
Nancy. I'm
Hi.
really, really well.
Good.
Yeah, we're like old buddies now.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm just so happy you're back on the show. Where are you, number one? Because like I even forgot to ask you that the last time you and I had a conversation. Where are you?
Well, actually, I haven't moved since the last time I spoke to you. I'm in a place called Cove in Scotland, and
Oh wow,
I'm on the shore of Loch Long. And
cool.
it's about 20 minutes from Glasgow and about 45 minutes from Edinburgh. It's right on the west coast. If you look on the map,
Wow.
you'll see Cove and Loch Long. And I have been here since March the 27th. I
Oh,
mean,
you
it
got to
just
have itchy feet.
itchy feet. I tell you what, there's not too many planes in the sky, but when I see one, I go, "Oh my goodness, I wish I was on that." And I'm hearing about all your amazing experiences and the journey that you're doing, and I'm going,
So
I
much
just
fun.
want to get out and sit again and connect with these pets. But that's where I am at the moment.
Uh,
We're
but
having so much fun.
I know I want to thank you because Angela, I mean, it's really, when Nancy was the first one said, well, people say we should do this, and I'm like, well, what about? We talked about this on the show before, but I'm going to say it again. Well, what if someone thinks, oh, if something goes wrong, are reliable, all that, and what I really, the first thing with trusted house sitters is that there's insurance and there's a 24/7 vet line. So if something happens with a pet, you can connect with a vet. So that's what really attracted us. We haven't had to use any of it, but I mean, and I'm sure circumstances will appear because nothing's
But
24 easy. But I really want to tell you the everything you said on the first show when you came on and talked about the people and the connections, and Nancy and I have made friends, like, and these
hmm
pets become you become so attached to them. The very
that's
first
for
house
sure.
that we did was in Lubbock, Texas, and
Hmm.
oh my gosh, with Cheryl and Cusco the cat. And
Yeah.
literally, when we left, and Cheryl came home, and we were leaving, I really thought I was about to bawl my eyes out in front
Yeah.
of her.
Oh
And
yeah,
Nancy's like, get in the car. You understand what I mean? Like all of a
Yeah.
sudden your heart breaks. It's a
Yeah.
crazy,
Oh,
weird feeling.
I do it every time. I mean, I cry every time, and
Mm.
it doesn't matter how much time you spend with them. They
No.
actually become yours. They become your
Yes,
own. But I
Yes.
think that I think the leveler is that you're with these pets in the home, and actually you're probably giving them more attention than their owners do, not because you love them anymore, but because that's what you're there for. I mean,
yes,
Exactly.
you're like nanny coming in and taking care of
Hmm.
the grandkids, and sort of,
Right.
we're going to do everything we can for them, and we're going to look after you like mummy and daddy said, but
Hmm.
we're going to give you that extra special attention. And so
mm,
you do all that, and they bond with you and they really connect with you. But the
Hmm.
one leveler is that when their people walk back through that door, you are chopped liver. It's
I
like,
I told
you
Nancy
know
that.
what?
I told Nancy it's going to happen, and it's true. And they already
Yeah,
know. Like right now, we're getting ready to leave Peachtree City here, and we're taking care of Gotham and Joker, and they already know something's up because the bags are
yeah,
getting packed, and they're already getting iffy with us. Like, what is going on? We're doing the radio show from a different room and everything, so that everyone's coming home, and we're going to start traveling again, and they
they
know. There's
know.
no way they
They
know. When
know.
we left Baker, Florida, Millie, silly with Millie,
Oh,
she really is the flying wiener dog. She
she's so cute.
everybody gets their own new names, right? But she like this little dog. Oh my gosh, she stole my heart. And we get to see her again, which is really exciting. We get to
I
go see
love
her in
that.
January, and
And
that's
then,
the thing. We're going back.
absolutely.
And
And
Shelby,
when you go back, they will remember you. They remember you every single time, and
yes.
that is what's so good for the pet, and that's what's so good for you is the fact that hey, this new best friend I made is actually
Mm-hmm.
coming back to see me. And the moment you walk in, and the moment they hear your voice,
Mm-hmm.
they know. Oh yeah, there's a spark there. But it really is. I mean, it's the most authentic and incredible way to travel if you are somebody that loves animals and you want to have that experience. This is not like traditional travel. It's not like and
No.
today, because of COVID, it's so much more controllable. And you
Mm.
have, when you're
Safer.
going into and when you're an owner inviting a sitter into your home, you have full control about how you do the handover, how you
Mm.
how you connect with them, what you do, and also when you come back home. So actually, it's safe travel, and it
Mm.
gives you the ability. You're not going into a multi-occupants environment like a hotel and things like that. You're actually controlling it from your home, and so it really is very safe. But it's also the best place for animals to be and have somebody with them.
I
Yeah,
think so because all the animals have really shown us that they have a schedule. They have a routine, and if treats are
they
at two
want it.
o'clock, treats are at 2 o'clock. They know. They don't need
Hmm.
a clock. They know when their treat is due. They know when feeding time is. They know when walkie time is. They have
Yeah,
their schedule, and I was thinking like the very first sit, like even Cusco the cat, the very first one, that was probably the perfect sit for a first
hmm
person, because like first time person in pet sitting, because she really taught Nancy and I, like, you will watch Netflix on the TV, not on your computer. And if you're going to do a radio show through my awake time past my nap time, I'm going to be part of the radio show. All these things and my thought was, oh my gosh, the opposite of taking these pets and putting them in a kennel. And
yeah,
I'm not knocking the kennel thing because sometimes that's what has to happen, but
absolutely.
they that is like a whole other weird world for them that I don't know is as much fun. I mean, there's doggy hotels and stuff like that, so maybe that is an option. But I from what these these animals, they take a like maybe 1 or 2 days to really get in. Everybody gets in sync in a routine together. There's this, I don't know, it's a very interesting thing. And then if you keep connected with the homeowners, they are, I send them photos all the time so that they know what's going on. This is what's blooming in your garden. This is,
Hmm.
what your cat is doing at this time, videos and everything, because they know something's going on. If they don't want that many things, I won't do it. But it's like, um, it's been a different year, and I think people want more communication, especially when they leave now, because things are different. It's a different year. And so I think,
Absolutely.
yeah, very different.
It is. It's very different. I mean, nobody could have planned for this. Nobody knew. In
Yeah.
your wildest dreams, you would never have thought of what was going to happen in 2020.
Yeah.
I've said it's like being in the middle of a very bad sci-fi movie. Only this is
Yeah.
real. Um, but coming back to your point about pets and being at home and having routine and you're right. Let's not kennels because there are some very good ones. However, when you've got an animal that's really, that has this routine, and case in point, there's a Labradoodle that I look after in San Diego, and he was brought as a puppy for his dad, who was going through cancer treatment at the time. And so Barkley was bought for his dad, and they bonded like you wouldn't believe. But dad is also a retired commander from the Navy. So you can imagine that his day still is structured as if he's in the Navy. There's a time schedule, there's a planner.
Mm.
So when I go and look after Barkley, Barkley has his own car. He has the Barkley mobile, and he goes out. He goes out every afternoon at 4 o'clock until 5 in his Barkley mobile, and him and Dad drive around, and they stop at this particular park. They go for a walk for 20 minutes, and they come back. Now, if Barkley wasn't at home with us or whoever, whatever sitter's looking after him, he wouldn't get to go in his Barkley mobile every afternoon. And he also wouldn't get his Kong at 7 o'clock at night, which one night I forgot, and I'm sitting there working with my laptop. The next thing I know, I've got a Kong thrown in my lap, and I'm going, Barkley, I've just played with you. And then he did it again, and I looked at my watch, and it was, oh my gosh, I forgot. So I had to put his treats in his Kong, and he played with that. Now, that's where it's like
Shelby did that.
service.
Yeah, but Shelby in Pennsylvania, Tunkenup. I'm never gonna say it right, but I'm gonna keep trying. I had to. Anyway, Shelby at 2 o'clock wants her turkey treats, and that if you don't, she will sit there and bark until you do it. And it's like, don't do 2:01, 2 o'clock. You know what I mean? And I might have the actual number wrong, but it was Shelby had her time where she wants her turkey treats, and she will come down the stairs just for the turkey treats, and that and. But then I just feel like, what about those animals that don't? So I think for homeowners, this has got to be because of the community and because we have all these connection ways, like email and phones and everything. It's not like what it was years ago. This is, you can know what's going on at home pretty much 24/7. Whereas, are you going to know that from the kennel? Again, not knocking kennels, but I'm just saying.
No. And absolutely. And the other thing as well is, we look after every animal under the sun. It's World Animal Day today. And we're just embracing all the animals. But we look after chickens and ducks and pigs and everything else, and a whole menagerie sometimes. But all of these animals that are in our lives are our family, and you always want what is best for your family. And so having them in their own environment with all their smells, with everything there is.
Yes. I love it.
And as sitters, we know how those animals are feeling and how they're and for an owner to actually walk out of the door. And the thing that I find the most rewarding, and I've been doing this now for 14 years, and I've pets that all over the world, hundreds of pets. But the one thing that really stays with me and is in my heart is that I know the moment that owner walks out of their front door to wherever they're going for whatever reason and for whatever length of time, they never have to worry one iota at any point in all of that journey that they're going to be doing about their pet and what is happening at home. Because like you say, Lisa, you send them photographs, we send videos. I've even had owners that wanted to Skype and Zoom with their animals. Now I have to tell you something.
Cool.
There's not too many pets that actually are going to sit in front of the screen and go, "Hi, Mum, I'm really pleased to see you." The owners will call their names, and they know there's this voice coming from somewhere. But if that's what makes you feel happy and assured that this part of your family that you're not with anymore is being taken care of, hey, that's fine. That's what you do.
I just wish we knew about you sooner. Even when we started our
Yeah,
tour in
for sure.
2012, is when we still had our little girl Athena, and then she passed away, and then we said, well, there's no point of us staying put. We go because our whole thing to be home was for her. But I feel there's pet sitting, and then there's pet sitting full time, and at that experience time where someone's gone. And we had pet sitters come in, and again, I'm not knocking any of this. This alternative that is very unique and very cool. We had a very awesome pet sitter that would come in both places. When we lived in Joshua Tree area, she would come in and take care of our cats, our birds, the outside birds, and all the feral cats we had, and take care of them. And she didn't leave us a nice report of what everybody did, but it took like the cats 2 to 3 days to really bond with her because she was there for practically, I think, 20 minutes
Yeah,
and
yeah.
20 to 30
And then
minutes.
left
And
again.
it's
Yeah.
like, here's the food, here's the water, off you go. And she's just driving around and feeding cats and dogs and caring for them. And she means 100% well. And she's a really awesome lady, but that's what she does. Same thing in Tucson. And it was bugging us driving off. And what can we do? I mean, Athena was now alone because her brother had passed away, Morris. And it was just like we had like this guilt thing going on, and to put her in a kennel, she would just freak out. That is not a
No.
heck no. You do not do that to Athena. She's a
Mm-mm.
goddess and she's a queen. You do not put a goddess or a queen in a kennel. Heck no. And so our hearts were really, you know, torn over the amount we were traveling and going, Athena's sitting at home all day long. Are the blinds
Alone.
open at this point for her to see the birds and then close at this point? Like all of her little things that she would do that we knew, it was like it was hunt the birds time behind the blinds, and
Hmm.
she wasn't. So all those little things, and now this pet sitting experience really opens our minds to we can really take care of animals in the home, and it will never be as good as the homeowners. But the thing is, we also have this community, and you guys have created this community of the sitters and the homeowners working together. We're all connected. You said this on the show the first time that we are all connected. In somehow we all find each other, and you're absolutely right. Everyone
Yeah.
we've met in some way. I mean, even where we are right now, Andrea's been on our radio show before we've even met her because she's this awesome ceramic artist and she holds a art tour of the region for studio artists. So we're like, whoa, you've got to let our audience know. Just as cool things like that. We're all connected in. I don't. It's very interesting how we find each other. Like how on the website everybody reads each other's profiles, but we are connecting on a really positive community. It's better than Facebook. Just saying.
I absolutely agree with you. And I do say that as long as I've been doing this and as long as I've been involved with the company, the one thing I will say is that one of the reasons that we all are like-minded and we have this community that is so 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 special, and I can't emphasize that enough, is because it's based on the fact that we all love animals and we're
Mm.
connected by those animals. Because you and
Yeah.
I, we wouldn't be talking today if it wasn't for the fact that you love animals and you were pet
Mm.
sitting. We do have owners that come to the site and they have no pets and they want their homes cared for and their gardens cared for, which is great. And we do that. But the vast majority of people come to us for pet care, but we do care for homes and we do care for, for gardens. And,
Oh yeah.
it's like you go away and you come home and you've got a well-valeted house and you've got no plant has died. You've got no leaves
Yeah.
have fallen off. And so there's all of that, but it's really this, I know there are people that do not know how this works and what the dynamic is like. You guys do. You found this out the
Mhm.
same as everybody does. And they will go, oh, I wouldn't have a stranger in my home. Now,
Oh.
I get that. However, Lisa and Nancy, that
Mm.
as well as I do, that by the time you get to the homes of the pets you're going to be looking after,
Mhm.
you've connected with those owners to the point that you're no longer a stranger. You're actually somebody that they're
Absolutely. Yeah.
welcoming. into their home for the first time like friends. I've made lifelong friends since I've been
Yes.
doing this. That when I go back to LA and I fly into LA, the person waiting for me at the airport is somebody called Eileen, who throws her arms around me. That we talk every week from, and have done for the last 7 years. And it all started when I went from my home in Vancouver down to LA to look after her little dog called Stella. And Stella passed away sadly 2 years ago. But Eileen and I will be friends for life. And I have others like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have this shared interest. I mean, what I love the most, especially like where we are now, the cats, they'll just walk in and stare at you. And then oh, you're supposed to be doing something for them right now because they walk in and
Yeah,
they
we're
just
getting close to
stare at
feeding
you.
time
And
right now.
yeah, I know, because they're walking in, they stare at you like, well, come on, you know the
Every cat
drill.
has been on our show
It's
because it's feeding
so
time.
funny. It's so funny. And then you're part of this home. And I, for one, I don't feel like a stranger because the pets have already said, "Hey, come on in." And I know from when we traveled and tried to take care of our pets that that's the biggest worry that you have.
Well,
Yeah,
I
You
I
absolutely.
know.
I, I want to say this is also very important. Um, Nancy and I have been through just when we got back to this country from South Africa. In South Africa, we went through all kinds of things, and
Yeah.
and I know that you have, this is global, and this is very important. We have a global audience, and Trusted House Sitters is around the world. I mean, and I go on the website just to look. It's like cool. And I see South Africa pop up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, the homes are like, yeah, I get a taste of home, and I see England all the time, and Spain, Portugal, Turkey, even, and I'm like, wow, check this out. So it's really cool. But I want to say this: when we got to, back to the States, and we lived in Florida, we went through a number of hurricanes. When we lived in California, we went through a number of wildfires, and really serious ones, and a lot of evacuations, evacuating with our pets, evacuating friends' horses. We've been through all of that. And I want to say that the trusted house sitters right now, we're looking at what's going on around the country. Even our publications right now are slightly delayed so that we can get the footage out for some of the areas we cover because they're in wildfires and some have been in hurricanes. And we were in kind of the one portion of it that kind of flew through Florida earlier, and we were house sitting at the time and taking care of Millie, silly with Millie, time, the flying wiener dog. And if nothing bad happened, we just took things down that wouldn't fly in windows and everything. And, you know, all I'm thinking is homeowners going away. You have
Yeah.
someone in your home during these situations that can let you
That
know. And if
prop
you're going to
up. Yeah.
evacuate, and I've talked to so many people, in this whole process, and I'm like, dude, if stuff goes down, let me tell you, we're going to take your dogs, your cats, we're going to take them out. And if you have horses, you better have a horse trailer. We'll take them out. You better have a plan, and we'll work on it. Because the chances are sometimes with these situations, wildfires and hurricanes, and we've been through them. So I'm really talking straight up. The one thing we haven't done is tornadoes, and hell no, I don't want one. But I've driven through those areas recently too. You this kind of thing, the house sitting, um, you have someone on the ground, and if there's an evacuation, the chances of you really coming home to fix whatever is really second to none, because
That's not
everyone's getting
happening.
out. You're move so fast. Understand
You're
that when
yeah.
someone's in your home, they can take your pets out or do whatever's needed. You have a better chance than if you're in a different country or you're traveling across. You're in a different state. I think that's something I wanted to say about trusted house sitters, having just kind of done that, and we were very lucky. It wasn't that bad what was going on and hurricane wise where we were, um, and we
But we
stayed
knew
on
what
top
to
of it.
do.
But yeah, and I thought, what would happen if your dog is in a kennel? Like that's what's going
And,
to
and
happen.
and you're absolutely right, Lisa. And even that's that's the dramatic side of it. That's the side of it
But
that
it's
nobody
real.
wants to go through. But it's real, and you were there, and you helped. And then you actually, if you look at that even further to a top side of it, that all of those emergency situations, you've got somebody there because you never know what's going to happen. You don't know what life's going to throw at you. But if
Yeah.
you then look at your home, even on a day-to-day level, I mean, I've been in homes where if I hadn't have been there and they had a power outage, the homeowners
Oh
would have
yeah.
come home to a freezer that was
Yep.
completely demolished,
Yep.
water all over the floor, smelling rotting food. So
Yep. Been there. Yep.
you've got somebody that on a day-to-day basis is actually caring for your home. But the other thing that I wanted to say too is that during COVID, we know globally, it hasn't just happened in the States or anywhere, globally during lockdown, the adoption of pets has gone through the roof,
Yes.
skyrocketed, and people have been buying pets, etc., etc. Now, life is going to get back to normal, whatever that is going to look like at some point. So all of these pets have got to be looked after one way or another when people want to travel. And those people that have taken them on and they've done so responsibly, they're going to come to a point where they go, well, okay, we now have this extra family member. What are we going to do? Now, people are talking about, well, you can travel with your pets, you can take them. Sure, you can. But you know what? I
You're
would
home.
actually sit a row of pets and say, okay, mummy and daddy are going away and they're going to such and such. You're going to be in a car for 12 hours. You're going to do this. You're going to do. What would you rather do? Would you rather stay home or would you rather go with them? And I don't know any animal that you would ask if they wanted to sit in a lineup and go and see the memorial of anything that they would actually go, hey ho, I want to be there. They actually want to, or do you want to go into a different hotel every night or do you want to?
No,
No,
they
I
don't
mean,
like it.
and on
It's
top of that, it's stressful for the owner
stressful.
as well.
Oh,
It's it's
we have a
it's
friend, good friend is a
really
hotel owner, and
stressful.
I, at our hotel, I mean, really a very close friend,
It's
and she's family
yeah.
to us. And we stay in her hotel all the time, as when we need to just really stop. And seriously,
It's
people bringing their
stressful
pets in and out of the hotel. We've seen the cats swinging from
on
the
the drapes.
curtains in the hotel. And I've had to call her and say, "Do you know there's a cat swinging on this room number whatever?" And she goes, there goes their deposit." And I'm going, "Oh, dude," because now you're paying extra pet deposits. If you
Mm.
travel with your pet, you're paying all these pet deposits.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
absolutely.
another thing.
And they don't like it. They
No, they
don't.
don't like
They
it.
don't like it.
They don't.
In fact, I find whether we're no matter what the animal is, like dog or cat, there's a loyalty to the home base that these animals have,
Yeah,
and they let
yeah.
you. They have it, and they guard the property as best they can them little selves. I mean, but it only takes like an hour or two to get the animal's personality and see who or what they are all about. And you see their habits by the next day. I know who's going to be where and what they're doing, and
Hmm.
you're conscious of it. And then you also find the quirkiness of the house. It's not just the pets; it's also the house and the
Hmm.
garden that needs sitting.
Oh, the garden.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you spend all this money on landscaping, and you can have automatic watering that may or may not work because
Yep.
sometimes it really doesn't.
Yeah, in the
So
desert, the coyotes will chew your soaker
yeah,
hoses.
they dig up the hose pipes. So it is just, and I just think it's safer to have somebody in your house
It
because when
definitely is.
people know that there's nobody there, you
Yeah,
know, things happen.
yeah,
Well, and of course, we've got Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up. And I think this year, provided people can travel safely, and that is the key, that is, that's our message
yes.
to everybody is look, you don't travel for travel's sake, you travel to travel safely, and you travel, and sort of, we've all got to be mindful because
mm
it hasn't gone away, it's still there,
mm
but it is possible to travel. And I think we've
It
got
is.
sitters at the moment are so eager to get back to doing what it is they love that any owner who's actually thinking, well, will I get a sitter? Are there sitters who are coming and traveling during these times? Absolutely there are. And they're
Mhm.
local as well. And, it's all about domestic travel at the moment. It's not
Mhm.
international travel, it's domestic
Yeah.
travel. And if you're thinking of going for Thanksgiving or Christmas and will I get a sitter? Absolutely, you'll get a sitter. You really, really will.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, you see, just go on trustedhousesitters.com, and right now we're seeing more house sits than there were when we first started a few months ago, and it's actually amazing how many places we have been in. Like a few
Mhm.
months, we've actually done what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 states we've sat in
Yeah.
since June,
You
end of
guys are
June.
just, you have
Mhm.
just had the most amazing time. And of course,
We have.
the other,
Thank you to
the
you.
other, well, the other thing we have to add as well is that the sitters with trusted house sitters are actually care oriented. They're not money
Mm.
oriented.
Yes.
Yeah.
They will come into your home and actually there's no charge for what they do. It's a fair exchange. It's an exchange and it's sharing and it's actually, sort of some people actually say, well, why don't they charge? And the reason is because it's a win-win and
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's a win-win-win because the third win is the pets that are the biggest winners.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, it's an exchange. It's a fair exchange. Each side, sitters and owners, they are both both benefiting, both getting as much from this as each other, and the pets in the middle who are benefiting the most.
Yeah.
Mm. I it's been a true joy, and I know the homeowners, from our side, they're like relieved. And when you can just you just stay in contact as much as they want
Mhm.
to, unless there's something really wrong.
Mhm.
I learned that. I learned like quickly, always be in contact and don't be afraid to do that. It's better than anything going wrong. And it's just been really nice. It has been really nice, and I think,
Mhm.
when you see the homeowner come home and the animal is really happy, the pet is like, oh, mommy and daddy are here, or whoever it is, and then they look at you like, yeah, you're still there. It's the chopped liver, but it's not that bad. But it
No.
does feel like, wait a
No.
minute, you could
Actually, they
do this.
still like you.
You
They
they
Oh,
still
still
good
like
do.
for
you,
you. Yeah.
but they
Yeah.
kind of do that like you were. It's like, no, no, the hierarchy has arrived. It's a very interesting thing, and it's like, but I know that like when we go see Millie and Shelby and all the cats with both of
Mhm.
both sits, I mean, to be able to go back to the same places,
I love
to
that.
me is good for the pets. It's good for the homeowner, good for us.
Mhm.
We all already kind of know the routine, and you just kind of go back in. It becomes more natural for the pets too. So there is that thing that also happens that I see on Trusted House Sitters, where people do have reoccurring sitters, and I think that's nice too. And sometimes it doesn't work out scheduling wise, but I think that's nice, for the pets
Oh,
when that can
it
happen.
is. I've got one sit that I do every year, and this is the first year that I haven't done it, and for obvious reasons in the UK, and
Mm.
it's in London, and a beautiful home for 6 weeks. And the first time I went there, the cat Teasel, she was a year old. The last time I sat Teasel, she was 8. So
Wow.
I did back 8 years, and
Wow.
yeah, it's just
Mm.
it's an amazing dynamic,
Mm.
and you learn very quickly that there's more that actually brings us together than there is that separates us.
Mm.
And it's all like-minded people just coming together for mutual
Exactly.
benefit. Yeah,
Oh, that's
absolutely.
absolutely right. We are more connected. That's the one thing I wanted to say too. We're all having conversations, and we have this COVID thing. We have all the political stuff going on. We have all that crud going on in the world. But through our connections over pets, and also, by the
And
way, taking
gardens.
care of
And
gardens,
gardens.
and when you take care of a garden, you're
Mm.
taking care of wildlife. We are all coming together. We are able to have these conversations, and it's been really beautiful. And we got to run because the show's going to end. Angela,
Oh.
I mean, we could talk to you for hours about. Kidding me?
I know, I
Um,
know.
thank you so much for joining us. It's been such a pleasure, and thank you because this has totally changed our lives, and I know it's also, helped everybody, the homeowners and pets too. So we're really, really glad that we're part of the Trusted House Sitters
Yeah.
community. So everyone, trustedhousesitters.com, truly, it's amazing. It really is. So
Thank you.
thank
And
you.
I'm so glad you guys joined us. We love having you in our community.
Thank
Everybody
you.
stay tuned because November issue of Parks and Travel magazine will send you a link to the map of all our pet sits so you can see all our furry friends. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Everybody stay
Bye.
safe.
Bye bye.
Stay safe, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.